Hello, everybody. So thanks for joining. We really like today to present Astrato and Databricks. And very short, I will introduce myself. I'm Konrad. I'm the CTO from Astrato. And I will have bring you the feature today and show everything. And I have as a guest Liron. He is the product manager and who is mostly responsible for the integration of our data sources. And now we can go through what we have achieved and what can now do with Astrato and Databricks together to really bring the next level of data analytics to you as our potential customers.
Hi everyone, happy to join you. Really excited about this new news from Astrato, and I'll be happy to share with you what you can achieve now when you combine the power of Astrato and Databricks. But let's start with a simple
Liron, I
conversation.
have upfront one question to you. For me, I was knowing Databricks mostly as an ML and AI product and not as a BI product. So for me, I'm always have other things in mind. Can you just give me some short information or some short topic why now a Databricks and what has changed?
So Databricks, as you mentioned, Konrad, was really known for its data pipeline, AI, ML, or the playground for the data science team. But actually, couple of years ago, and now it's actually a full product. They introduced Unity Catalog and Databricks SQL, which allows you to ask every data in Databricks with a SQL query. And this is where Astrato now will help you take this data and give it to everyone in your organization. No more you need to build a data pipeline that ends with pushing the data out of Databricks. But this brings me a question. Why should I use Astrato, Konrad? What is the benefit? How it's different than other solution I have there?
Yeah, so for me, Astrato is built, and this is like the first point, is talk to your data. So what we have done is that we say we are not caching any kind of data. We are not building an in-memory data model like our systems or have another layer of ETL. We directly talk to your data. We have also our slogan, play the data where it sits. We have LiveCare real-time engine with insights and accessibility and accuracy. So this allows us that we are not copying out data like in other systems. So you have no duplication, you have no time lag, because everything that is changing your data source, you can instantly see on Astrato. And it also allows to use, and this is something you will see later in our demos, to use some very cool native features of cloud data warehouses also in our product that is very hard for our vendors that are on the market. The second topic for me is we are built as a self-service no low pro code solution. So the whole idea is you don't need to code anything. You can just drag and drop your data on top of, you can just directly drag and drop the things what you want to do. You have a very easy WYSIWYG editor that is a little bit like PowerPoint. So you can quite easily push objects on. And also for no code, you have a possibility to build complete applications. There's something we'll have later on that you can have complex action flows, triggers, everything that is really needed to do some complex workflows or other more complex things that are going behind BI. But everything again there as a no-code solution. The first one is our interactive platform. So you can really explore, explain, interact with your data, and you can boost your productivity. I think we are just much faster if you have a time to market. You can analyze things like if they're ready in your data warehouse, you just connect them as Astrato, build your metadata on top. Again, there we are not copying the data, we just have a meta layer on top, and then you can do it. And last but not least, I think we have a combination of data apps. That means you can have write-back flows, you can have even things that have nothing to do with BI. Maybe Liron even will show us later a nice demo for, in combination with really good data visualizations. So there are data app platforms out there, but they are then lacking of data visualizations. And we combining world-class best data visualizations with the capability to write complex data apps.
Thank you, Konrad. And now, actually, it's on me to show that it's actually doable with Astrato. So let's jump into the demo because we believe that seeing is your best way of believing that Astrato can deliver everything we just promised. So an Astrato analytics dashboard is basically everything you can achieve. There is no limitation when you come to design, and we will show it later, but you can achieve this great dashboard sitting on top of your Databricks data. You didn't move it. It's fully interactive. User can easily ask more queries by applying filter in chart or in filter panels and get to see some insight out of it. The nice thing about everything, and we spoke about our ability to serve as self-service, is sometimes user might need some help in doing their analytics, and for that we introduced, like everyone, an insight. Insights basically might help user find some things inside the chart they might miss. So for example, can ask, can you analyze the trends in my MRR trend, because I'm looking for trends, and then Astrato is using the data you are currently looking for some insight for you. So I think AI, and we will show it later once more, the importance is not doing things instead of you, is helping you do things better and find things you might miss in what you see. But visualizing data and analyzing data is nice, but I think the real power of not moving the data comes when you can start utilizing native powerful functionality from Databricks in Astrato. And one nice example is I have my sales dashboard. Currently, I'm in the middle of September, and I know middle of the month, and I can see the drop here is not really an interesting period for me. So I actually want to be able to analyze my data the way that it was in the start of the month, on the last minute of the 31st of August. In some tools, you will need to build some filters or go and create flags, but utilizing time travel, which is becoming quite a standard in most BIs and also in cloud vendors' databases, you can, as easy as just setting your data in Astrato, and this is something you will find only in Astrato, you can find easily a way to basically say, please look at my data set for the entire session on this particular timestamp. And I see some movement, so my cells go down a little bit, and now I can go and start analyze. I know that we focused on the UK, so I want to understand if there are some opportunities to increase our productivity in the UK. Now, another nice thing in Astrato self-service approach is, as the user, once I made the selection, it's not, I don't see a lot of information. And I have my next question, which, can you maybe show me by the product subcategory? And here, using Astrato drill through dimension, I can easily change my entire dashboard to look on another dimension and starting to compare different parts. So in that case, I will use my table and look to see the subcategory product that didn't perform as well against previous year. Unfortunately, I see it's one of my top selling subcategory, and now I find it. But the importance of this drill through dimension is that I always can go to the next question. I'm not left with another chart. I don't need to navigate to another. Everything interactively happens in the same place. Let's clear the selection and show a better example of how how AI can help you read chart or users. So once again, self-service, and we'll jump into self-service. So when I look at insight and I look for an insight and I look for something that will surprise me, and I use something that most users might not be easily reading, which is the heat map on the bottom. And I ask the AI to analyze it to me. And basically it starts saying, look, Australia have the lowest customer LTV when compared to other countries, despite having consistent rates of age, percentage power. So I get some insight that probably I might miss, or I'm not sure how to read this chart. And next time when I will come, it will be easier for me to use it by my own. Another very powerful tool that we added in Astrato is our unique custom report. Custom report allows the data expert to build a sandbox for all other users that includes as many dimensions and measures as needed. And end user, all I need to do is I can come and say, okay, can you analyze my age group by gender? I want to know the customer lifetime value, but also I want to know the revenue this year to date, and I want to start and look on where is my highest customer lifetime value. I see it in the age of 35 and female. By the way, can you show me the number of customers? Maybe it's not really relevant because there are not a lot of customers, but I see it's a nice distribution of customers. So now, as a user, I have the full freedom to ask any question I need, to combine any dimension, and it's fully supported for me. Of course, I can easily export the data to Excel or CSV, and I can look at it with different visualizations. So if I want to look at the bar chart, automatically we will produce the bar chart that include only one dimension. And if I want to look at gender, I can easily change it. So there are host of possibility that you can do as self-service, and every query change is running on your data in Databricks, not moving it. So we cover why the data visualization is top of the class and how user can do self-service analysis. But to complete and make an Astrato real new best friend of Databricks is not just about consuming the data. It's about Astrato also becoming something that produce data that you can use in your data pipeline in Databricks, either for more in-depth analysis or improve whatever data pipeline. For example, here I have my whole employee feedback form and application done in Astrato. What it allows us to directly write the data to Databricks, and when the data is in Databricks, it automatically can be consumed by any data pipeline to improve it or to give us more signals. If we give a bad recommendation, maybe it's going to be a signal that hurt our efforts to retain our things. And the nice thing, it's still interactive, so you can start with data and add more data. For example, I see that on our effort to increase the average tenure, let's focus on our design team. And let's look at the feedbacks the design team has given lately. And I see that, for example, Salvatore never got a feedback. And I actually think it's time to look at the feedback. So I can easily click here. A form is starting to fill. We are at the demo. This is when we gave him the feedback. And we are doing great. So, and we submit this feedback, and it should soon appear on our screen. So while the feedback is written back to Databricks, and yeah, automatically it's written back. You can also see that now I don't have any more employee in design team that doesn't have a feedback, so I can look forward to it. But this data now sits in Databricks and it's available to any data pipeline. So basically, when you think of it, you can, using Astrato, build any data apps. Probably the best one will be ones that have data and then can produce more data or more context that your data pipeline can improve the next time you do give the data back to the Astrato.
What instantly come into my mind, and my question is, can we also do that one? For example, could we also build in the future something with Databricks, because Databricks is very good in ML and like in machine learning, that we like input something and then he's doing the calculation again, so that we're really like combining then the BI and the AI capabilities of Databricks.
Yeah, currently the integration is you can build any pipeline in Databricks, but very soon, as we heard, Databricks are going to introduce Python function, which is the most used data science tool, natively inside your SQL environment in Databricks. So yeah, you will be able to instantly see your feedback, analyze and return to you. And we are eager to get our hands on it and create some better data apps even.
That sounds
So
really
the
great.
last part I want to show, and we discuss it, is how easy it is to use your data in Databricks. Because what we've shown up until now are very good design dashboards, apps that were built by experts. But what if my only need is to actually get to my data and start asking questions? So connecting to Databricks is very easy. All you need is 3 point of information, the host, the warehouse you are going to use, and your personal access token. I went forward and already produced them, or I think I produced them, and now, yeah. And now, as you see, everything I connected, I can see all my catalogs. I just need to select a catalog. Let's give it a proper name to the data connection, and I can select whoever can see it. Everyone should see it. I want everyone to be able. And now we read the Databricks, and you see automatically I can see all the catalogs with all the tables that I want to use. So in that case, let's select some tables. We'll remove some unneeded tables so it will be easier. Of course, you can always preview the data so you can get a glimpse of what you are using or not using. And up until it's nice, we selected the table we want to use. We don't move the tables. It's just a virtual copy with the metadata of the table. Now, the next things, in order to use the data, I need to join my tables. And this is where probably most users will get stuck. If you ask them to use the data in Databricks, they need to know how to write join. But here Astrato comes to help. With our join suggestion, we have a smart algorithm that looks at table and looks on the best way to connect your table. And you can also get some indication if the connection is going to be good, the amount of row in each tables, and other information. And then we apply it, automatically tables are connected. But what I notice is one of the table is not connected, and I know that my date sits in my cells. So I have another option, which is a more in-depth look. And yes, the Astrato found my connection. Data is connected. I'm almost ready to go, but I want to build some KPIs and dimension that I will be able to use later. So we'll do very, and once again, the main focus here is the no-code experience. So as a user, I know what a sum is. I know that I want to use the amount. And I can take my measure to be much more complicated. I can divide it by another algorithm and add another one that I want and add some brackets. So basically, there is almost no limits on the complexity of measure you create. You can add filter inside the measure. For example, let's assume you only want the year-to-date measure. So how do I write a year-to-date? Nice thing, you don't need to do it. You just say, I want current year-to-date. Let's remove the additional boxes. So what we created here is basically revenue year-to-date. We can give it a nice name, select a nice format for it. And by the way, before we go, we can even see the SQL behind it. So it's easy. So if you are not sure, you can share it with someone that understands. And I have my measure. And the nice thing about the data layer, the virtual data layer we are building now, and this measure, it can serve as many workbooks or sandbox for as many users you want. So you can use one workbook to build your department company dashboard, but then another workbook by individual can use the same data layer, use the same measure, and build whatever they want. And it's not connected. It's serving the workbook, but it serves more than one. As for dimension, a nice option, as we saw, it's not just defining field. You can start using smart, apply other smart thing, and everything is done for you. For example, I have my age group, but I want to group it together. So I go and say, okay, can you group it from 20 to 75? And I actually want to include everyone that it's above 75. I'll give it a name. And once again, we believe that you should be able to first learn what you are seeing. And what I see is that it seems like I have tail in the end. So instead of 75, I'll use 65 and adjust my number of buckets and look again at my distribution. I'm much more happy with it and I create it. So I prepared my data. I'm ready to go and build my workbook. Last bit I want to do is check my information. So I have the data, but I haven't explored it or saw anything. So let's use our created dimension and measure, and let's look at the total, because I know our total is roughly around this year 12 million. So everything seems okay. It seems I'm ready to go and create my workbook. And creating a workbook, you can start designing with an empty canvas, but you can also use any other option we have, and let's select one of the options because it's easier for us to, then I just need to populate it. So I come here and say, okay, you know what, remember I defined the measure, so I want to see my revenue year to date. But creating a measure, if you don't want to use it, is also easy. Let's look for customer. I have customer key. I just want to count my customer, so I count my customer, and then I can go and create. And the same go to measures, and let's use our age group and the measure we created, and we already get a distribution. Of course, we probably want to style the color a little bit, probably. And another really nice thing is when you build every chart, if something looks wrong, by 2 clicks, you can see the query behind the chart. So if you are not sure, you can, if you need to ask someone how to look at it. And another nice thing is you get also the query ID in Databricks. So if you click here, you are going to be sent into Databricks, and you can look at your last query you ran and learn more about the query, where it's used, and everything, right? So I can get to the full profile of my query, how it ran. Everything is transparent. We are not hiding anything. Everything happened in the back.
So what I also say here, I think there's something that we also did for the SQL. If you show the SQL, thanks for your explanation and showing all the deep data query inside. And like if someone even in the end was maybe thinking, is it really Databricks? I think you have seen it, and we directly jumped into Databricks. So yes, we used it ever there, and we are taking care to have that. And I think this is now coming to the topic as where is Astrato, and what is like we are the intersection of innovations. So you have seen the innovations in the last years of AI ML. You have, I would say, analytics is like already a quite long running topic, but still there is some innovations. And we also combine it with the data apps. So what you have seen is that you can really build complex applications that even have complex workflows. So something we have not shown today, but I think you can also see one of our other videos that you can have a better explanation of our action system to get deeper understanding of our data apps and Writeback capabilities. And you also have seen as a nice thing is we just support all the things for the data sources like Databricks with time travel, with Writeback, everything out of the box. So we really take the capabilities that they give to you and not like limit you then in the end in the front end. So thanks for the time. Thanks for looking at our, taking the time to look at our nice presentation. And I wish you a wonderful day. And again, thanks, Liron, for you.